Now the first job of the week is a job I've been looking forward to doing for a long time. And that is the roof, because not only do we get rid of all the tin foil, but we're going to do a design that we've always wanted to do in a camper. So first things first, we need to get it boarded out.
Now the first job we're doing is fitting some 6mm battens to the roof. And we're doing that for two reasons. First is it gives us a gap to run our electrics in so we can have a cab light. And the second is, true to form, nothing in Big Red is square or level. So we need something to go to.
Anyone notice the new addition to the old workbench as well? Got the old 18mm shuttering ply on top.
It was an authorised purchase.
But I love a workbench, and I want to do like a Mark II workbench at some point, because this one, it's done me proud, but it's a bit rubbish. But these are the features that I'd always want to have in my next bench. So Jessica, help me. So this is the way I've got it now. So when we're going to do these boards, like for instance, when we're going to be cutting these strips down, I can take the vise off and then use the big 8x4 sheet, and since we've got it, it's coming real good, isn't it?
It has been good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I've put some battens around the outside of it so we can just lift it off. And then I've still got my metal workbench. Then also, this vise is a bit of a pain because it's in the way, so what I want to do is make like a lift up table like that with like a drop down leg, so then I can have the vise on that, drop it down, and then it's out the way and I can have a clear bench. It's always got to be on wheels. So the way I did it was that I put some fixed casters on the back, welded them too, and then the casters on the front I put on a bit of threaded bar so I can wind the legs up so I can move it about, but if I want it solid I can wind them back down. And then another one as well, so on the end here, obviously I just drop my metal folder on, and that's when we can use that, but I'd like to do it so I can have this whole length of the bench. I can figure it out where I've got a real heavy duty bit of angle, and this could be a big massive folder as well, like a metal folder.
Why do you get such a crazy face when you talk about your bench?
It excites me so much.
It's a bench.
It's a beauty.
What is it?
A beauty.
No, what is it?
A brilliant bit of kit for the workshop.
Loser.
Festool do a real good bench as well. I think it's called...
Stop talking about benches.
I think it's called an MFT bench or some multifunctional tool bench or something, and they got like dogs that clip in and then the clamps can go in and all sorts of things like that. That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
No, it would just be a bench.
I could do that with this. We could cut some holes out in the metal bench, and then we could have an MFT metal bench and an MFT wood bench.
This is every day of my life. Every day of my life he comes to me with some harebrained scheme about how we can extend the shed as well so we can get more tools. He's already started hiding tools in the house. Had to rearrange the house the other day for the bloody 3D printers.
And I was just doing an Instagram story as well on my unwing clamps. Is anybody else obsessed with clamps?
No!
Let me show you.
Everybody else is... No more.
Let me show you the clamps. Just clamp my finger. Let me show you the clamps, look. So look, I line them up here, look. So we got all the unwing clamps, the quick grippers there, all the way along, and then we got some big heavy duty steels there, more unwings over there, and then we got some normal wind up wood ones. I don't use them so much, but I've got a few of them, and then just some odds and sod clamps, and then we got some big nasties over there as well in the back.
And you guys think I'm exaggerating when I say he has a problem.
Oh yeah, and we got the little ones. We haven't used them yet. It's to be honest, I forgot I've got them. Them little ones there, look.
You're such an idiot. Well, we have stage one of our roof done. So along here under the bed, what we've done is, because we can't get a piece that's long enough to do the whole distance, we've put the joins where you're least likely to see them. And they're going to get covered with slats anyway. And then up the back here, where it's really important that they don't have different heights at the joins, we've done it the same way as we did with the walls and the floor, where we've routed out 3mm from either side, and then we're going to glue and stick them together so they're almost like one big board. So what we're going to do now is we're going to figure out where all of the slats are going along the sides, because we want to make sure that they finish nice and flush with the edge of the bed, and then we'll carry on straight all the way down to the front.
Now with my trusty go-to Class 2 Stanley tape measure, I've calculated that we should be able to do a 67.5mm board with a 12mm gap the whole way along to get it millimetre perfect. Now for any of you doubters out there, we all know that I measure twice, cut thrice. Oh, look at that! Beautiful! I tell you what, to get that right first time takes an absolute perfectionist. Or more like third time's a charm. Then realised that the wheel well's not square the whole way along, so I had to redo them all again.
It's not happening!
Good job I had some calculations for this, didn't I?
But don't worry, I've checked his measurements, corrected his measurements, and we should be good. I've got all of this to get sanded, prepped and painted, but we all know John does not have the patience to do this properly. So I've set him up with another mission to keep him out my hair. So I've got him on with building me a storage unit to go at the back here, and that is for my dried goods to go in these containers. And we need to do that before we can build this bed. But the biggest tip I'll give you is if you've got any shelves or any cabinets that have just got a shelf in them, boxes are your best friends, or containers, because you can get so much more in and ram them down. You don't have to worry about them flying around. Best thing you can do in your camper. However, always make sure you buy them before you build, because they're never the size they say they are on the internet.
This is the job that never ends.
This is the job that never ends.
It just goes on and on, my friend.
Everybody was loving my singing last week, weren't they? When to become one, I need your love and never going back for more, baby.
It was wonderful, darling. Well, no prizes for guessing what job I'm on with this morning. While I get all of the painting and staining done, I wanted to talk to you about the sponsor of this week's video, Incogni. So if you've ever had junk mail, spam calls, texts or emails, it's likely they got your details from a data broker. So data brokers are companies that scrape the internet for personal information and then make profiles about people that they sell to marketers, insurers and credit agencies.
Now, not only is it annoying, but it means decisions can be made about you, like getting a loan, getting insurance, or even getting a job. And it's all based off information that could be incorrect, and they shouldn't even have.
Another issue is that cybercriminals and scammers target these databases, and they're frequently breached, which means that millions of people's personal information ends up in the hands of criminals every year.
Now, you do have the right to be removed from these lists, but it makes the companies a lot of money, so they don't make it easy. But Incogni is a personal data removal service, and they'll take all the hard work out of it for you. All you have to do is sign up, give them the right to work for you, and they'll do the rest.
They even send you monthly updates, so you don't even have to log on to see what's going on. So I can see in the last 4 weeks, I've been removed from another 4 lists, which is 66 in total.
So if you want to take control of your personal data, then Incogni are giving us a massive 60% off an annual plan. So all you've got to do is use the code TRUEBLUE at the checkout, and I'll put a link in the description. Now the storage unit is done, and even though it looks like a tiny little unit, there's so much thought that's gone into it because it does about 10 different functions. And I thought I'd go through them just so you can sort of see how much it goes into the design of the cabinets. So firstly, you'll see at the bottom here, I've got a plinth, which is then raised. Now the reason I've done that is because this is going to be the electrical cupboard. So the wires need to come across the back here, up here and into this unit. So I can cut a little hole out the back and run them across there. Also, I've done it that height because the cushion's going to sit about here. So it'll be nice and flush with that shelf and it'll look nice and neat. Also, because this wall is curved and the pop-top roof bed frame comes out slightly, I've designed it so it sits in line with that, because you're never going to sort of get in there and cram yourself in, whereas that is nice and square, so we maximise storage and don't lose any space. Now, the reason we've installed the 240-volt socket up here is because then when we're on the sofa, we can charge laptops and everything like that. But also, if it's nice enough weather to be cooking outside, then the gull wing's going to be up. So rather than have an exterior power point, we can just plug the induction hob into there and have it outside. Then inside here, I'm going to have all my USB points with the wires connected all the time, but they're out the way and they can tuck nicely into this shelf, so they look nice and neat. And a bit of storage in there. And then also, the most important thing for Jess is we're going to have an armrest on there with a kitchen worktop on top, and then a place so she can put her tea. And then the last piece of the puzzle is the night heater intake pipe. Now, when I first designed the belly locker for the night heater, I was going to have it so it sucked fresh air in all the time, which apparently is the best way to not get much condensation inside, but I bottled it because I got loads of messages from you guys saying if I had an exhaust leak it could be dangerous, and also it just makes the night heater work that much harder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it ducted up here and vented through this panel so it just recycles the air.
Now you might notice we've done this roof out of 2 different kinds of ply, and we've done the strips that we're doing along to make the slatted effect out of birch ply. And I'm just doing them with a Danish oil. And we've picked birch ply for this job because it's just so much better quality than the hardwood ply. It normally has a much thicker veneer on it, and you get a lot less voids in the side, which is so much better when you're staining it. Now most people will use planed timber when they're doing their slatted roof, but we're not doing that for 3 reasons. First is that obviously we can use 6mm ply, which is a lot lighter. Also, we don't have a huge amount of headspace in old Big Red, so this will save us on space. But also, with it being ply, it won't warp and twist, so our gaps will stay nice and straight the whole time. And then for these backing boards, we've just used hardwood ply because it's so much cheaper, and you can get away with it when you can paint it because you can fill it, paint over the top, and you'd never even know. Whoa, 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 whoa. Steady.
Oh look, like usual, waiting on the general. But I've been on with some 3D printing last night, so let me show you. So firstly, I printed these little beauties, the old soft jaws for the vise. Now you'd use these if you were clamping up something like aluminium, plastic, or anything you wouldn't want to mark the workpiece basically. And on the back of them, they've got little holes in them so you can stick magnets in them. So then they'll just magnet onto the vise jaws. And they've also got little slots in them as well, so you can clamp up like pipework or tube. They did take 5 hours to print mine. And of course, I made some more attachments for the unwing clamps.
Definitely need those.
Now, I know a lot of you would have been triggered when I was calling them unwing clamps for ages yesterday. They're actually called Irwin clamps, but I think Jess must have called them unwing clamps.
Me!
At some point, and now it's just stuck in my head.
I think I get my weird names from you, and then everyone blames me.
Anyways, they're pipe clamps. I did some of these the other day, but they were opposite way around, so they might come in handy for something. But if you notice, they're a bit loosey-goosey on there, so what we'll have to do is basically make them smaller. And to do that, I'll go onto the software, and where you can see the model, it's at 100%. So what I'll do is I'll just drop that down to 98%, which will make it ever so slightly smaller. So when it does the print, hopefully it'll fit on there snugly. So I'll get it printed out and see what it goes like. And if you've ever used these clamps before, you know the bar on the bottom there is absolutely lethal for catching your head. So I've printed these, which literally just push on the bottom there and stick on, so they can be seen a lot better, but also if you hit them, you're not going to hurt yourself. So I'm going to get another 20 of them printed off for the rest of them.
20?
And that's only for the small ones.
Oh my God. Well, it's the moment of truth. The roof is going in. Although I always get so nervous filming these bits because there's a million things to do at once and I totally go into flat mode, forget to talk to you.
And also, she's going to be in charge of the expander foam. So I don't know how that's going to go.
Go on, get under, get under.
Jess always shouts at me all the time as well when we do things like this. I'm nice and calm, she stretches out.
He barks orders like a bloody Doberman. Expanding foam.
Oh God, here we go.
Shut up.
Don't press it too hard, but press it hard enough. Whoa, that doesn't sound right.
Oh my God, shut up. Oh God, did that get your head?
Rag, quick, 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 quick.
Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. She squirted out too fast.
She squirted.
John, shut up, I can't laugh. This is how not to.
Yes, come on.
Shut up, I'm going as fast as I can. Oh God, nearly fell on top of you. Right, go up, go up.
Right, watch that cable. We're in.
Oh,
We're in.
oh baby.
Now, did she do it right? I didn't see. You need to tell me. Now, if anyone's wondering why we're using the expander foam, it should hold it on the wood slats perfectly fine, but I thought that'll give it the extra support in them bits so it wouldn't bounce, but also it'll just adhere it. So, I don't know. We're winging it.
We always over-engineer everything. Cheese in.
I'll tell you what. It's a good job I've got that on there, look. The old protector. So what was the measurement for the middle?
Oh, I just hit my head on your special clamp.
The middle. Did the old special clamp just protect you,
It did just protect me.
Come on, the special clamp. This hose is getting in the way, this is.
You have a cordless gun.
It's not battery though, it's gas operated, and in a confined area like this, it's not safe.
A confined area with the roof open.
I'm all about the safety.
Are you? Says the boy with the glasses on his head instead of his eyes.
Tell you what, I joke about these, but these have come in handy already, eh?
They have been good.
Beauties.
I will give you that.
I need to go check my 3D print in a bit as well.
So that is stage 1 of the roof done, and it went on surprisingly easily actually. And I know you're probably thinking, oh my goodness, it's so dark, and you're right, it is. But I'm so happy with the way it ties it in with the pop top and the bed frame. And you won't actually see much of it by the time we get the birch on. And with that being a light wood, hopefully that will brighten it right up. So let's get them on and see.
But before we do that, I need to have a little checkup. Oh, lovely jubbly.
So he comes in the house giving me grief for eating my lunch. Look at him, state of him, playing with his clamps and his printing.
I put the ends on. I don't want to scratch your beautiful face, do I?
Oh, how can I argue with that one though?
But they don't fit, look.
What doesn't fit?
They're still a bit loosey-goosey. So even
Show
with
me.
oh, this is the 98. Even with 98%, she's still a bit loose. So I think we need to do another one.
Are we going to put these slats on or just going to play with your printer all day?
Do another print. I just had a message to the old phone. The old printer's done. Should we go check it out?
John? John, I bet you he's gone to look for his bloody printing. You've got to look at your printing, ain't you?
I've got my print! So big baddie. You coming to help here? This is Big Bad Brian, if anyone doesn't know. Say hello to the vlog, Brian. Okay. Just got to take a break. I need to entertain. No more, buddy, no more.
Ready? Ow! God damn it, ow.
Come on, woman.
Change your pencil.
What have you done?
Kneecap on the side of the vehicle. Oh my God.
See? It's nothing to do with me leaving the shutter down. It's just old calamity.
I am literally covered head to toe in bruises. Oh, that one hurt though. Well, that is all the lighting done.
So we lost you last night because we worked till late, and before we give you the ground reveal on the ceiling, I thought I'd show you the old canvas. Because I said last week we got it. Now, believe it or not, the whole thing only weighs about 2 kilos, and we're really happy with the colour of it anyway, so can't wait to get it on. But like I've said before, we can't get it on until we've got the kitchen units out and painted.
And another little thing I need to show you before I go outside is my brand new beauty little air fryer. And you'll all remember I was so excited to get it last week, I gave myself a concussion.
Although she said it was my fault, but
it was his
as
fault.
we've seen in this week, we all know she's a bit of a calamity.
I am a calamity. But I have to say a huge thank you to you guys for this, because I've bought myself the best whiz-bang model there is, and I've spent the super thanks money on it, because John had a tool last time, So this is my beauty new tool, but I have to show you because it's so cool. Look, normally with air fryers, you just have like 2 little baskets. This one, you can remove the divider. So I've made pizzas in it, I've made cookies in it. It's gonna be so good off the road. So.
Yeah, well, she's always banging on the road that you want lasagnas, cookies, cakes and things like that. So with this, we should be able to do that sort of thing.
And it cooks so fast as well. I absolutely love it. So thank you so much. So I need to say a huge thank you to Phil, Ron, Bob, Barry, Flipper, Donna, David, Jason, Simon and Tracy, Alex, Tracy, Charles, Johnny and Emma, Sierd and Claudia, Andrew and Rachel, Ian, Kevin, Graham, Victoria, Steve, Fraser, Angie, Patrick, Radu, Danny, Twitch Guru, John, Pete, Wagner, Angela, Halden, Andrew, JD, Downey D, Charlie, Jason, Anton, Jono and Marina, Attila, Sand, Dario, Rune and Brett. Thank you so much. I just love it.
And then we've also had some other bits sent through as well. So James, my man, thank you very much for the old detail sander. Can't wait to put that to work.
He's very happy with that one.
And then we might have a new contender for the old accurate tape measure for the old Festool one. So that was from Jason. Thanks, mate. And then we don't know who these ones are from, but we obviously know who they're for. We got a little Miss Bossy book, obviously for Jess, and a Stanley tape measure for me, so thank you very much. Barry, a bit of hot tour sticker, thank you.
And then Janine and Steve have sent us both a shirt. So mine says, and I think you'll all agree with this one, raising my husband is exhausting.
And then my one says, don't need Google, my wife knows everything.
And then a little plaque, skinny people are easier to kidnap, stay safe, eat cake. So thank you so much, everyone. You spoil us rotten, and we're so grateful for your support.
Legends.
Well, I think it's about time for the grand reveal. Are you ready? Ta-da! What do you reckon? I wasn't too sure at first, but I absolutely love it.
So you might have noticed when we were watching the video that there's loads of bits we need to touch up, like all these black supports, they've been all scuffed when we fitted the walls in, so we've got to do all them. And then on the end here, these bits of wood are flush here, but we still might catch them getting in and out of bed. So what we're going to do is we're going to put an aluminium trim over the top, which will cover the end nicely as well, but we'll have to get that powder coated. And then also, I started work on this pull-out, slide-out sofa bed, which I've made up the aluminium frame for, but we can't get on with that because, surprise, surprise, it's Friday and we've run out of time. So that'll be a job for next week.
Now, I know that this style of roof has been done hundreds of times before, but it's the first time we've done it. And like we said at the beginning of the video, it's something we've always wanted to do. And it definitely hasn't disappointed. I love the way it accentuates some of Big Red's features, like this curved roof in the front. And I would say, if you're building a camper and you've got to work with some awkward shapes like this girl, where nothing is straight and there's lots of protrusions, the strips are a godsend.
Now we're going to have to leave you there, but hopefully next week we can get all the cabinetry finished and maybe even starting on the painting of the cabinets as well.
But I need to go and get this video edited now. But before I do, I think I might put myself a little cake in the air fryer. See you next Saturday.
I think I could do some more 3D prints for my clamps as well, couldn't I?